Good morning. Okay, I wanted to come really quickly and just go over a study that I've been doing on self-love and the biblical portion of it. Anything that I do has to have a Bible base, if that makes sense. It has to be based on scripture, and I have to be able to find scripture to make it make sense, for lack of a better word. And the scripture that I found that deals with self-love, I should say the most often in the same context, is Leviticus 19 and 18. Okay, so Leviticus 19 and 18 says, "Do not seek revenge or bear a grudge against a fellow Israelite, but love your neighbor as yourself. I am the Lord." This scripture is again repeated in the same context, actually referring back to this scripture 7 more times. Matthew 19 and 19, Matthew 22, 37 through 39, Mark 12 and 31, Luke 10 and 27, Romans 13 and 9, Galatians 5 and 14, and James 2 and 8. Each time referring to the action of loving your neighbor as you love yourself. Okay, and so in my study time, I really did a search on Leviticus 19 and 18 because it is the first time that it was that the commandment to love your neighbor as yourself was given. And so at the end of that chapter, Leviticus 19, it says, verse 37 says, "You must be careful to keep all of my decrees and regulations by putting them into practice. I am the Lord." And so this was a word given directly from God to Moses, as a part of just the way that we are to conduct ourselves. And so now this is my issue, and not really an issue per se, but the word says that we are to love our neighbors as we love ourselves. And a lot of times the scripture is quoted with the assumption that we do love ourselves. And no one gives any suggestion or any instruction on how to love yourself when you're supposed to be loving your neighbor in the same way. That's an issue because most of us don't know how to love ourselves. And even more of us consider it selfish when we take time to love ourselves. And so I really wanted to put this together because personally, since I've started kind of my normalized self-love campaign, if that's what you want to call it, but it's a lot more than that in my head. But we'll say that for now, I have gotten messages and inboxes from Christians who have said that I needed, or have said that what I'm promoting is not biblical when it actually is. We expect people to love their neighbors when they don't know how to love themselves, and when they've always been told that to regard yourself, to think of yourself, is selfish. So all of that to say that self-love is not selfish. If I am going to love my neighbor as I love myself, then I have to love myself. And those who disagree, that's fine. You teach the people how to love their neighbor. I'm going to teach the people how to love themselves. Shalom.